You know, all you can do sometimes is sit back and laugh, provide the comedic relief, find some joy within it. The champ is back. The Sixers have brought back the champion. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic, man, but I don't know what else to say. Welcome into Philly Take with RB. I'm RB. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on noties. I was just getting ready to watch another Summer League game and be excited, and I still am, to see some VJ Hoops and Adem Bowen and all these guys. But the inevitable is finally official. I knew it was going to happen. You ever know something's going to happen and you still don't want to believe it? Well, here it is, Shams bomb a few minutes ago. Kyle Lowry has agreed to a one-year deal to return to the Philadelphia 76ers. The 2019 champ is back for his 20th NBA season and a third consecutive year with his hometown Sixers. You know, when Kyle Lowry signed with the Sixers, he actually ended up being the third best player on the team till the end of that season. Sixers lose to the Knicks, and last year was absolutely devastating. Look, I have nothing against Kyle Lowry as a person or a player. To play 20 years, to be an NBA champion, like, credit to him, man. Former All-Star. He deserves a lot of props. I have nothing against him. What I have is against the 76ers and their willingness and their just joy and their optimism in bringing back 40-year-old players and guys that should not be on the basketball floor. You want to hear a funny story? Earlier today, there was a trade. Norman Powell got traded to Miami. There was a bunch of guys moved, John Collins, and Kevin Love was traded to the Utah Jazz. And he was bought out, or he's going to be bought out, and he's going to be a free agent. I think Kevin Love's like high 30s. And I reposted this and said, this feels like a Daryl Morey signing. A lot of people got frustrated and mad at me. It was like half a joke, but also half realistic, because this is what the Sixers do. They want to bring guys here that are 5 years past their prime and put them in the lineup. Even Kevin Love might make some sense as a power forward, which we'll get into in a second. But anyway, the Sixers go and they bring back Kyle Lowry. Yes, he is back on the team. And I'm telling you right now, that first Tuesday night game where, you know, the Sixers have 1 million guards on the team and we think it's going to be Jared McCain coming off the bench, or, I don't know, Quentin Grimes if he's coming off the bench or starting, I don't know, VJ Edgecombe, every other guard on the team, right? And that first substitution when Nick Nurse calls over Kyle Lowry to the scorer's table and he checks in, I am going to absolutely lose it. Kyle Lowry should not play a minute this season for the Philadelphia 76ers. And people told me the past couple of weeks, oh, well, Kyle Lowry's a mentor. Eric Gordon's a mentor. The Sixers do not need to waste 2 roster spots on mentors. Do we not understand that? If you want to be a consultant, if you want to be a guidance counselor, an assistant coach, whatever, you want a clipboard, fine. You want to bring in the Gatorades, fine. You do not need to take up a roster spot. See, the problem is that everybody out there thinks the Sixers are bringing back Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon for leadership. No. Daryl Morey and the Sixers believe that these guys are going to impact the playoff roster. They really believe that. They believe that bringing back a 40-year-old player is going to help these guys out. Maybe he could be a mentor, but to use a roster spot? And then people say, oh, well, who cares? Just the last couple spots on the roster, right? No. You need forward depth. You need guys. And now the Sixers' average age on opening night, if they bring back Quentin Grimes, will be 27.1 years old. Last year was 28.4. So they got a year younger. They need to get significantly younger. They were the oldest roster in the league last year. The way the league is trending, these guys are too old and slow, and they get hurt every couple of weeks. It's not going to work. So, yes, I am frustrated. And using 2 roster spots to bring back mentors is insane. Now, like I said last week, the Eric Gordon one I knew was going to happen because Eric Gordon had a player option. The only reason he opted out was to help the Sixers in terms of the cap. The only hope at this point is that these guys get packaged in a trade. But who wants Kyle Lowry or Eric Gordon? Well, I don't know. Maybe a package Gordon with Oubre or Drummond or whatever. Go get a power forward. Because, ladies and gentlemen, look at this roster. Here's the final roster if they don't do anything else. If Quentin Grimes re-signs, right? We expect him to. Don't know why it's taken so long. But if Quentin Grimes re-signs, this is the final Sixers roster heading into the season. Maxey, Lowry, McCain, Grimes, Edgecombe, Gordon, PG, Oubre, Edwards, Council, Watford, Broom, Embiid, Bona, and Drummond. How many games does this team win? They still need a starting power forward. I don't know how many times I can stress this. Everybody thinks they're going to magically play 4-guard lineups and they're just going to be quicker and faster than everybody. Well, guess what? The teams doing that right now are not predicated on a Joel Embiid and Paul George offense that plays at 1.5 miles an hour. They don't play the same way. They're not set up the same way. They don't have the same identity. Do I like the Sixers adding younger guards? Yes. Do I like them getting quicker and more athletic? Yes. That's what Daryl Morey said they were going to do. But when you go and you show this mixed bag of emotions and you bring back guys like Lowry and Gordon and Drummond, and you completely go against the philosophy that you are presenting to us, it gets frustrating. It gets frustrating for sure. Now, they have two ways. Like I said, they can make a trade or two, which I'm banking on right now. No offense to Trendon Watford or John A. Broom. I don't think they're ready to be the starting power forward. And again, I will reiterate this for the people that still don't understand it. Paul George, although he's 35 years old, is not a power forward. They say, oh, well, he played that in LA. Different team dynamic. PG's already slow as it is. You're telling me that you expect Paul George to be able to handle the size and the length and the versatility of some of these modern day fours right now? I'm sorry, I don't see it. I don't see it. Paul George may be getting older and he may be 35 years old. I don't think he's a power forward. And the responsibilities of a power forward, you have to rebound the basketball. You need a guy that can give you 7, 8, 9 boards. This guy, Jabari Walker, that the Sixers signed on a two-way, I think he's good. I think he has potential. Is he ready to be a starting four on this team? I don't think so. The Sixers, once again, are neglecting the power forward position. They've done it for a very long time. Last year, they signed Yabusele. This year, they signed the cheaper version of Yabusele. Yabusele wanted to come back. They didn't give him the money. And here we are. Now, Ricky Council also has a non-guaranteed contract. Maybe he can be waived and they go get somebody, but you're running out of options. You're running out of time. So it has to happen. It has to happen now. Also, Justin Edwards officially has a 3-year contract for $7 million. That's really the only good thing I saw from yesterday and today. That is a steal of a contract. I think Justin Edwards is going to continue to get better and better and better. And I think as an undrafted free agent, he was an absolute steal for a guy that once projected out to be a first-round pick. So I'm happy about that. But is Justin Edwards a power forward? No. Is Kelly Oubre a power forward? No. Like, again, the Sixers are always going to try to fit the square peg into the round hole, and it just doesn't work. They had Tobias Harris for several years. He was decent, but nowhere near where he needed to be. And I will continue to say, if we don't know how Joel Embiid is going to respond to surgery again, and he can barely jump, the Sixers are going to get absolutely torched on the glass night in and night out, and they're not going to have an answer for it. And every time they get to the playoffs, they get crushed on the glass in an entire playoff series. So we'll see what happens. That's where we're at. I do not like the fact that Kyle Lowry is back on this team as a basketball player. As an assistant coach, sure. But Nick Nurse loves Kyle Lowry. And he loves going with the vets first. And I'll never forget the game last year. I think it was against the Hornets in like November or December. And Nick Nurse benched Jared McCain in the fourth quarter when he had 18 points and played Kyle Lowry the entire time. Almost gave up the game. That's what I'm expecting to see more and more now. If you don't allow these young guys to do their thing and prioritize them. Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon should not be taking minutes away from young players. And I feel like they are. So that's where I'm at. Give me your thoughts, your reaction down below. Sixers Summer League hoops coming up. Excited to see what the young cats can do. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.